Good afternoon. I hope you all had a high tea and all of you are excited about this panel discussion. So as the MC of the program has rightly said that the discussion today would be economic boom of India and the lessons to be learned in Nepal. So before we start with this panel discussion, I would like to introduce our panelists. First of all, I would like to give a brief introduction about Mr. Raju Poudel. Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to introduce Mr. Raju Poudel, the immediate past president of Chitwan Association of Industries, an esteemed managing director of Lifecare Pharmaceuticals Private Limited, and he also has other 3 different industries which he has been running successfully. He is at present the chairperson of Bharatpur Hospital. With an extensive background in the industry and pharmaceuticals, Mr. Poudel brings a wealth of real-world insights into our discussion today. Similarly, joining him we have Dr. Priya. Dr. Priya is an associate professor of IIM Shillong. In terms of her academics, she has accomplished PhD from one of the most renowned universities of India, IIT Kharagpur, and in terms of publications, she has around 10 research articles under her name, and she has also been a distinguished presenter in many of the internationally renowned stages. Similarly, we have Mr. Bahadur, the chairperson of Boston International College, Ankuram Academy, and Kirji Chitwan. He is also an associate professor of chemistry at Patil Multiple Campus and at present a PhD scholar. Talking about his achievement with a rich background including his role as a former executive director at BP Koirala Memorial Planetarium Observatory and Science Museum. He also served as the chairman of the board of directors at Nepal Food Corporation. Mr. Chand is a force in both academic and industry. His studies in global leadership on tobacco control program at Johns Hopkins University underscores his multifaceted expertise. He has also published 2 scientific papers in high impact factor journals and has contributed his valuable knowledge to the global scientific community. And last but not the least, we have Dr. Mohd.o Ahmad. Giving his brief introduction, we have esteemed Dr. Mohd.o Ahmad as Associated Professor and a beacon in the realm of sustainable development, managerial economics, and econometrics. So Dr. Ahmad also serves as the head of sustainability in advisory committee of Cyber Rights Organization in Hague, a small town in Netherlands, and a respected youth advocate for climate actions in India. With accolades including his certification by Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative and UNDP, and a recipient of Global Survey Fellowship with United Nations, OCHA. So Dr. Ahmad's insights stem from profound global and academic engagement. So this was a brief introduction about our panelists, and I'm really excited that we will start this panel discussion, and I would also request our audience to be attentive. If you have any questions, please jot it down so that towards the end of the panel discussion, you can put your questions and we will help you to answer your questions from the respected panelists. So again, warm welcome to all of you. I hope you all will enrich from this session. Shall we start? Okay. So the first question I would like to put it across to Mr. Raju Poudel. So since he has an amazing experience in the field of pharmaceuticals, so Mr. Poudel, based on your intensive experience in pharmaceutical industries, how do you perceive the role of innovation and technology in propelling economic growth, and what insights can Nepal glean from Indian pharmaceutical sector's advancement. So I would request you to put some insights to this.
Thank you, Suman sir. म थोरै नेपालीमै व्याख्या गरौँ सजिलो होला. नेपाल आफैमा अहिलेसम्म नेपालको इन्डस्ट्रियल डेभलपमेन्टलाई हामीले यदि हेर्ने हो भने हिजोको थोरै मैले यहाँ जोड्न चाहेँ. हिजोको पहिलो जुट मिल नेपालको पहिलो इन्डस्ट्री हो भने त्यसपछि अहिले आएर विगत 35 वर्षमा हजारौं इन्टरप्राइजहरू डेभलप भए. तथापि नेपालको इन्डस्ट्री जुन हिसाब किताबले हाम्रा छिमेकी राष्ट्रहरूसँग अघि बढ्नुपर्ने हो त्यो हिसाबले अघि बढेको छैन. त्यसकारण नेपालको इन्डस्ट्रीहरूलाई आफैले इनोभेसन गर्न नसक्ने र त्यो इनोभेसन अरूको इनोभेसनलाई हामीले कपी गर्नुपर्ने बाध्यात्मक परिस्थिति भएको कारणले अरू इन्डस्ट्रीहरूमा जस्तै फार्मास्युटिकल इन्डस्ट्रीमा पनि हामीले जुन R&D भन्ने गर्छौँ फार्मास्युटिकल इन्डस्ट्रीमा रिसर्च एन्ड डेभलपमेन्ट भन्छौँ त्यो चाहिँ एकदमै थोरै भेरी मिनिमम मात्रै R&D हुने गर्छ. त्यहाँ फर्मुलेसन हुने गर्छ र हामी त्यसैलाई R&D भन्ने गर्छौँ. हाम्रो केसमा भन्ने हो भने वास्तवमा भएको चाहिँ फर्मुलेसन हो. हामी बाहिरपट्टि नाम चाहिँ R&D लेख्छौँ. दिस इज नट रिसर्च. त्यसकारण अहिले हामीलाई जुन हाम्रो छिमेकी राष्ट्र जुनसँग हाम्रो खुल्ला बोर्डर छ हामीसँग धेरै कुरा मिल्छ पनि हामी भाषाको हिसाब किताबले नै सजिलो छ र धेरै इनोभेसनहरू फार्मा इन्डस्ट्रीमा त वर्ल्डको टप कम्पनीहरू इन्डियामा अहिले चलिरहेको छ. तिनीहरूको जुन इनोभेसन छ त्यो इनोभेसन सिधै हामीले ल्याउन सक्छौँ. एउटा डाइरेक्टली कोल्याबोरेसन गरेर हामीले इन्डस्ट्रीहरू खोल्न सक्छौँ भने अर्कोतर्फ इन्डस्ट्रीमै कोल्याबोरेसन नभइकन ओन्ली टेक्निकल कोल्याबोरेसन भनेर पनि हामीले खोल्न सक्छौँ. त्यसको लागि इन्डियाको जुन इनोभेसन छ भइरहेको इनोभेसन त्यो इनोभेसनबाट नेपालले चाहिँ ठुलो फाइदा लिन सक्छ र लिइराखेको पनि छ. हामी टेक्निकल म्यान पावरहरू पनि ल्याउँछौँ. त्यहाँको मेसिन इक्विपमेन्टहरू पनि ल्याउँछौँ र त्यहाँको अहिले भइरहेको वर्ल्डमा भइरहेको नयाँ मोलिकुलहरूको जुन इन्फर्मेसन हुन्छ त्यो पनि हामी वान सर्टमै त्यहाँबाट हामी ल्याएर हामी नेपालमा चाहिँ अहिले फर्मुलेसन गरिरहेका छौँ. त्यसकारण त्यहाँको इनोभेसन हामीलाई यो छिमेकी र हामीलाई जुन बोर्डर पनि खुल्लादेखि लिएर सबै कुराले सजिलो भएको कारण र कुनै पनि हिसाब किताबको रोकटोक नभएको कारणले त्यहाँको इनोभेसनले अहिलेसम्म नेपालको फार्मा इन्डस्ट्रीलाई अरू इन्डस्ट्री जस्तै राम्रो हेल्प गरिरहेको छ र भविष्यमा पनि यसले हामीलाई सजिलो बनाउनेछ भन्ने मलाई लाग्छ.
Thank you so much, Raju sir. As he has also specified that innovation with collaboration could be one of the best way to take countries ahead. So it may not be just for Nepal, but any of the developing countries. I think that is the model. And I would like to ask another question to our Dr. Priya ma'am. So since you have an amazing experience with academic and practical experience in human resource management and organization behavior, so how can companies effectively integrate mental health and well-being into their organizational cultures, especially in the context of economic boom in India, and what are the things that even countries like Nepal can learn from that?
So good afternoon everyone. So mental health recently has become a very talked about topic, and it is something that we need to pay special attention to, especially when we are talking about economic development. So India's economic development, it started quite late, or we were later than some of the other countries in realizing the potential of our people. Also, it started in the 1990s, and after that we have been going at a breakneck speed, if I may say. So we have seen a lot of development happening, and we also have a very rigorous academic ecosystem to support that, though there is also a lot to be still desired. But so the consequence of both this, a very fast pace of economic development and the academic institutions, a very rigorous academic curriculum, has been that there is a lot of effect on the mental health of young people. Okay, and young people are the founding stone, the cornerstone or the foundation for the well-being of any country in the long term. So I do a lot of work on the mental health of young people, young adults. And the statistics say that this is a cohort, this is a demographic which suffers from a lot of mental health issues. But India, we have mental health institutions, big institutions, but still it's not as, the reach is not to the extent that is that we would like that to happen. So now we have organizations also which have taken up the mantle of, organizations also are talking about well-being, and we have educational institutions which are also talking about well-being. So now we have counselors in every academic institutions, be it schools or colleges. Every institution is having a mental health counselor. At IIM Shillong also we have a counselor. And then we have organizations which are also talking a lot about mental health and well-being. So while we do talk about it, we also have to see to it that we design our curriculum, or we design the work that is being done in organizations in such a way. So it's one thing to talk about well-being and mental health. It's one thing to institute programs for mental health, but then if the design of the work, if we are not giving people enough flexibility and work-life balance, then the objective is not met. So on one hand, we can't have a design of work which doesn't leave much space for flexibility, relaxation, and then we say that, okay, we have mental health programs, or we're looking at well-being. So mental health and all, for organizations and academic institutions, it should start with how designed, so that people can get some time. Now well-being can come through many ways. It's not always necessary to go to a counselor. Well-being can also be met through if I get to do the work that I love to do. Okay, if I get to explore my interests, even that can help with my well-being. So well-being is a very multifaceted thing. So one, we only talk about mental health problems, but very briefly, if I have to say, the way work is designed, the way workflow is designed, the way academic curriculum is designed. Yesterday we had the opportunity to visit Ankuram Academy, where there's lovely music room, dance room. So that also helps in, it's not always that you have to need a counselor, or we talk about mental health problems. So the design of the entire curriculum, the workflow, that also contributes to well-being, and that is something that organizations should look into.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Priya ma'am. So as Mr. Raju sir and Priya ma'am has rightly said, Raju sir talked about innovation with collaboration. Ma'am also talked about academic development, and as he said that India also started late in 1990s, and that means we also have a hope in Nepal that since there has not been any exceptionally long history of development even in our neighboring country. And now keeping these points, and I would like to ask Anand Bahadur sir, Mr. Chand has an extensive experience in both educational and governmental sectors. So how do you perceive the role of academics and governance in accelerating Nepal's development? And what lessons can Nepal draw from India's academic contributions to national growth?
Thank you, Suman sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Before jumping to the answer of this question, first of all, I would like to see this, go through the same data. If you see the research of Economic Forum, World Economic Forum, by the 2025, 85 million jobs are eliminating. And however, on the bright side, 97 million jobs are waiting for us. I would like to give some more examples. Last time I visited to USA, and I can see there are no people on the cashier side in the Walmart, Kruger, Costco, etc. Tesla's imagination, or we are imagining that there will be the driverless car. Singapore is experiencing or practicing the waiterless restaurant. And Amazon in California, there is one store where there is no any people inside the store. You can just go there, buy the material, and the bill will be on your mobile. So look at these data, look at these pictures. Where the paradigm is shifting, where the world is going on. There are this lot of people losing their jobs, or there is the now fight, or there is the era between machines and the human. By 2030, China announced that we will be the machine-operated country. Okay? So, after 10 years, I guarantee you, after 5 years, you will see there will be no cashier on the Bharatpur departmental store. Just you go there, you buy your stuffs and self-checkout. And in our college, after 5 years, there will be no accountant. You will pay the fee through the QR code or IPS system. That fee will be deposited in our account. The software will generate the report and the balance sheet. And I think there will be no job for the accountant as well. Again, I have another evidence. I didn't go to the bank for last 4 to 5 years to pay my bills or to pay my stuffs, or even to take the money or to take the cash. And I have bought a lot of materials like freezer, television, washing machine, or other things from the Daraz. I never visit any such type of shops nowadays. And another very tremendous picture of e-Seva is, if you look the data of Buddha year, 78% of tickets were booked by e-Seva. 78%. Look at the picture. And 5% from Khalti. And only 15 to 17% tickets are booked through the travel agents. By 2030, there will be no travel agent. If you want to buy the tickets nowadays, you go through the cheapo here. If you want to book the hotel, you will go through the booking.com or hotels.com or even OYO or even Airbnb. So look at the picture of the world, how the world is going to change. And how the academia should focus on their now career. We are talking about we are not finding the accountant. We are not finding the accountant nowadays in Nepal. Who will now be an accountant after 5 years? Because I think there will be no jobs for them. So, academic institution not only should focus on the job-ready industry graduate for the futures, but also should focus on the research and development, as well as innovation. I want to see some more examples. When I was in the North Carolina State University last time, in our lab, we were trying to generate the energy from the water, tap water. Just break down the water into hydrogen and oxygen. Oxygen will be for the humans. Hydrogen will be collected in your tank, and just you will get the energy. You come to the home, just join your car to the tap water, and in your car tank, the energy will be fulfilled from your tap water. People are imagining like that. In California, this time, what they have proved, or they have launched, that the car running on the road need not any wire. The carbon nanoparticles, which are incorporated on the cement, they becomes the supercapacitor. And if the car is on the road and it is on running condition, it will be charged itself. Chargeless, wireless cars. So, innovation, research, the countries are experiencing, academic institutions are experiencing or doing a lot. So, I think now it's the time to our universities, time to our colleges to change our traditional thinking to the somewhere new height. Just the students who are learning, doing or teaching, or the accountant should be converted into the data analytics. We should change from the Excel to the Python or R. Last time, Madam also told me that we have to now shift from Excel to the R. No, now there is no need of Excel. We need the Excel, but it is very simple. Okay? And we have to change our curriculum, not writing the resume or CV. Resume or CV you can write from the, ChatGPT. But you have to know the analytical skills. We need the people who can analyze the data. The machine will generate the data, but you have to have the theoretical knowledge, theoretical background. And that theoretical background, which should support the data obtained from the machines, should be interpreted and used in the decision-making strategy. So, if we look to the India is also very behind on the research and development, like Nepal. But there are some prominent institutions like IIM Ahmedabad, IIT Bombay, or some IIM institutions, AIMS, where they have proven a very world-class experiences or world-class facilities to give the best practices for the country. And we should learn how the India is growing the technology, how the India is doing good in the health, how the India is doing good in the education. Such type of things and such type of minds we can draw or we can get from the India. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anand sir. It was really mesmerizing to learn the data-driven answer. So as Anand sir has also rightly connected that innovation and collaboration along with academic development, which has to be propelled by research and development, and R&D is nothing but it is the next thing that the whole world is looking ahead. And talking about all this, today I could recall what we have spoken in the morning about sustainable development, and Dr. Ahmad was also saying that it is all about research and development. And I really got mesmerized when he said that mostly the first world nation used to say that manufacturings are done by monkeys, and R&D is everything that needs to be taken care of. So keeping that point in mind, I would like to ask Dr. Mohd.o Ahmad that what factors can Nepal learn from our neighboring country like India or any other developed countries? And since you have an expertise in sustainable development, I would like you to relate on those topics.
LPG policy is one of the game changer for Indian economy. But if I'm talking about Nepal, so we have to understand from the surrounding. To know about your surrounding, I believe, is any day important than getting a degree. So what you have is ample of natural resource. Now, there is no learning from each and every. Yes, there is a scope of learning, but what we have done in economy, that is, we were previously following the 5-year planning commission, which is one of the oldest commission. We have worked on party, and then after that, electricity, green revolution, white revolution. We are done with that, but the impact was really less. If I'm talking about the planning commission, recently, in early 2016 or 17, we have come out with Niti Aayog. We have aligned the SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, with Niti Aayog. There are 17 goals of. It's not sustainable development is not about climate action or climate change. It involves infrastructure, overall development of the country, including the township, or even including the small-scale startups. So it is one of the important ones. People have that misconception that, okay, they are talking about sustainable development, it is related to environment. But it is a mixture, you can say a blend of economy, environment, and people's participation at the end of the day. We are working, right now we are working on, about CSR, corporate social responsibilities are there. Even private players are there, like companies like Big Four, they are working in India, they have their headquarters, or they have their, you can say, service sector to India. 3 things are really important for any economic development. There are 3 sectors, you guys all know, as said by Raju sir also, one of the important sector. So we have primary, secondary and tertiary sector. The top notch, as we are discussing, is research and development only. We have discussed it earlier also in the morning that I know I love to drive BMW, but I don't know what is inside, what is V8 engine is all about. I just love Porsche, I love Lamborghini, but what is inside? That will come with research and development. We need to work on that. Other than talking about the sustainable development goals, yes, you as Nepal government can work with PPP, public-private partnership. It is one of the important, like India is working on that. G20, there are many PPP signs and many MOUs have been signed. Other than that, talking about sustainable development, if we take, to understand sustainable development, we need to understand what are the primary issues of the country. See, there are countries in Southeast Asia, Asia Pacific, every country has its own problem. We understand that. India and Nepal has a common problem. As discussed with Oxford Poverty Indexing, if I'm talking about the references, you can go through the report, 2020 report of UNDP with the University of Oxford. I'm also a part of that multidimensional indexing. So there is, number one is healthcare. Number two is the basis of on the basis of education, people are pursuing primary or they are into their graduation, what they are doing in it, and healthcare. Then after that, education, and number three is lifestyle or healthy living or standard of living, you can say. So it has its own parameter. Previously, we define a poor person in terms of calories. The guideline given by WHO, 2,400 calories are there. But we have given the food to that people. Poverty is still there in our country. Now what we have to do, we have to do multi-dimensional indexing. Okay, if we are giving them income, then what will happen? They will be in the marginalized group or below poverty line. So we have to check multiple factors. So Al-Kaya Foster model, which is mentioned in the UNDP report, we are working on that in developing nations only. Can you believe that India ranked 161 or 162 and Nepal comes under 168? So human values are important, first of all, mentioned by Priya, that humans are the real substance for the society. It's not cosmetic. So we have to work on these issues. Then after that, talking about the economic growth, yes, there are parameters. India is doing great with the policies, with public-private partnership. India is the largest economy and soon to be the world economy. But related to research and development, we both need to work on that, because I believe that R&D, like I was talking to the student early morning, so this quote was given by Britishers that India used to produce indigo. So to disrupt, or you can say just for their profits they were doing that. But after doing after these practices and all, after indigos and whatever it is, they make the profit. So they quoted that this manufacturing is for monkeys. So we have shifted to service sector. After that, now we are working as the Startup India, or new innovations are coming. Even the private partners, if you go through the channels, there is Shark Tank. So Shark Tank influences a lot of people and students, and the middle-aged people are into startup. So it is like we have more unicorns in India now. So we are working on that. I hope I'm not taking much time. Okay. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ahmad. So now, since we have spoken to all the four panelists, and we got to know that innovation, collaboration, mental health, human resource, and more importantly, adapting to change and thinking about the future, talking about sustainable development goals, which we are trying to fulfill by 2030. So the moment we go to 2030, so we just may have another less than 7 years. And since Ahmad has also emphasized on PPP, MOU, and I think what would be a right question for Mr. Raju, who has been the past president of our Chamber of Commerce. I would like to ask him that, since our Chamber of Commerce have also worked with the PPP model, we have done different MOUs. So as an immediate past president of Chitone Association of Industries, could you shed some light on the collaborative initiatives that can be adopted to foster industrial growth and development in Nepal?
Thank you, sir. First of all, if we look at the GDP contribution of industry, so in Nepal, we have only 5% of GDP contribution. And in India, from industry, they have 24% GDP contribution. And if you look at the productivity of agriculture industries as well as other industries, India have more than Nepalese industries as well as in agriculture industries. So we can see the technology India adopted in this time, and in Nepal we are adopting technology. We may be far behind 10 years. We are adopting old technologies. So if we can collaborate with Indian associations and Nepalese associations like Chitone Association of Industries, like other associations in Nepal and in India, as well as academic institutions like Boston and other institutions in India. Like today we are doing Boston Fiesta. We can transfer the knowledge as well as in industry level we can transfer the technologies. And we have established one industrial Patsala in Chitone Association of Industries. So we can learn many things in Nepal as well as from abroad. So in this context, we can collaborate our knowledge with Indian industrialists as well as Indian policies. For example, if we look at the subsidy of agriculture in India, Indian farmers get 20% subsidy in the production. But in Nepal, if you look the subsidy, we are getting only subsidy in fertilizer. Last year we had subsidy in interest, but this year we don't have it. So we can learn the, as we say, first we have to know the government rules. And if we correct the government rules by knowing the other government rule, so we can develop our industry as well as other institutions. So in this scenario, we can say, if we look at India and if we look at Indonesia, if we look at Brazil, if we look at USA, there is even if we look at China, in China they have 50% subsidy in agriculture. If we look at Indonesia, they have huge amount, not in percentage, they have different percentage. So huge amount of subsidy in production. So by knowing the rule and regulation of other countries, rule and regulation of other countries, we can collaborate in government level, as well as in private organization level, as well as in private limited, and also in academics. So it is the best way to transfer knowledge through academic dialogue and industrial Patsala that we have adopted. And we have also did one MOU in my tenure. We did one MOU with Boston International and Chitone Association of Industries. In this way we can collaborate. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Sir has rightly emphasized that there has been different subsidies and the contribution to the GDP, and even talked about collaboration. So in my point of view, what I would say is like, since collaboration could start as small as, a collaboration between Boston and Chamber of Industries, and since we have also been working with different collaboration. So keeping his point intact, so I would also like to ask another question to Mr. Ahmad, or Dr. Ahmad, sorry. What I would say is when we are comparing India and Nepal, you come from Dr.D.Y, Patil, Pune, Maharashtra, and if you look at the statistics, Nepal is smaller. If you talk about Maharashtra itself, is almost twice in size. So that means we are comparing Nepal with India as a country. But if in a real terms, if you talk about the states, Maharashtra itself is much bigger than Nepal, and definitely its overall contribution to GDP is amazing. So as an economist, what would you suggest? What is your opinion about the overall population, the overall size of the country, and what can a small countries like Nepal can learn from that?
It is never about the population, it is about the quality, not the quantity. So if I want to give example of, let's take a financial model of Bangladesh. You must be aware about the Grameen Bank, and you have visited it. So they have a microfinance model. They are giving small scale loans to the people, and they have overcome with the financial crisis they were facing earlier. So the microfinance model was helpful to them. And Bangladesh as a country is one of the small countries. So it was never about the quantity or number of the people. But I feel like where Nepal needs to work, or as you're asking for the suggestion, so we need to focus on first of all the foreign exchange. I've been to Chandan Char yesterday, and people were giving INR to them. So the forex or the foreign exchange is in these local areas. It will be a foreign currency disparity, though it will help people, but for long term it is vicious. It is not good for any country. Zimbabwe has faced that foreign exchange, or you can say South Africa is facing that. The dollar has higher value than the currency. Even in Nepal, I have observed these things from Kathmandu to Chitwan, that the INR value is much higher than this Nepali currency, and people are exchanging on local areas and local shops. That should be not allowed. It should be at the airport only. After immigration, you cannot change the forex. So it is one of the important parts. That is why I'm saying this, because it is devaluating the currency. So first of all, we need to target on these exchange policies, and it is an internal matter, and it is also a part of corruption, counterfeiting, and all people were discussing these days about these things. But we need to work on that. As a small country, Nepal is one of the, I feel like it is untouched beauty. It's one of the best resources I can see around. I have seen gemstones lying on the road. It is one of the beautiful places on this earth, and trust me, people are migrating towards these habitats. The people from European nations and American nations, they are migrating to these countries because the climate and everything is not natural anymore there. So you hold that legacy, touchwood, and you are blessed with that. So as we are talking about the pollution, we are number one in carbon footprint, or we can say we have the polluted cities. But see, privatization or globalization won't come with the cost. It has its own pros and cons, but we need to work on that, how we are choosing things, how we are welcoming the companies or outside service sector to this nation. We should have a protocol. I believe we have an incorporation as Commerce Minister here, Raju sir, so he must enlighten you with all the commerce and related trade industries, what are the rules and regulations there, and we need to work on that. on the background of the cardboard footprint or sustainable values should be followed so that we can preserve this one of the beautiful country. I believe that.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ahmad. As he has rightly stated that it is not the size, it is not the number, but it is the quality. And we are blessed with such an amazing nature and an untouched beauty, many things to be explored, and it brings a lot of positive vibration and positivity in this room. We are staying in a country which has so much of potentials, and we all are lucky to be part of Nepal, a beautiful small country. Thank you so much for emphasizing that. I'm taking the question back to Dr. Priya. So since she comes, sir, her expertise also lies in leadership and employer branding. So could you elaborate on the evolving dynamics of leadership and employer branding in fostering environment that not only attracts top talents, but also nurtures and retains the people who are in the industry?
Yes. So I would like to continue the discussion the sir was saying about rules and regulations. And so India has been, if you have to understand India's current position, this economic boom has not come suddenly. The foundation for this was laid for many years, starting with the independence. So what the Indian leadership did very right, just as we had independence, they laid the foundation for big public sector enterprises, core, which are core for any economic development. So the steel sector and all these big industries were set up. I come from a family, Steel Authority of India Limited. My father was working there. So we have entire townships which are run by, then in the private sector also Tatas are there. So that was one thing. Academic institutions like IITs were set up. That is one. Another related to what he was saying, government rules, and so we have an extremely competent bureaucracy. There are problems with the bureaucracy. Sometimes red tapeism and all is there, but these are a set of extremely talented people. They go through a very rigorous competitive exam and then are selected. And these are the people who are responsible for running the day-to-day government affairs and all. So very good, whether you talk about industrial policy or foreign policy, educational policy, these bureaucrats are to a large extent responsible for these, these very competent policies that are built. So I think what Nepal can also learn from this is how to have. Again, the bureaucracy is also being reformed. We don't rest on our laurels, so we are also reforming bureaucracy. But this is something that has to be learned from there. So, and coming back to the question of branding. So we're talking about Nepal being a small country, and like sir mentioned, it's about the quality. So how do you brand yourself? Okay, so in India also we have states like Kerala or the Northeast. Where we have very fragile ecosystems, very rich biodiversity, but we can't have extensive manufacturing or something. So you have to identify core competencies. So as a country also, you need to identify what can be our core competencies. Your core competency is tourism, okay, and that is how you have to build brands. Now we talk about strategic management. We talk about alignment. So organizations operating in Nepal, they have to see to it, how their strategies, business strategies, are aligned to their national strategies. So the way organizations position themselves, that should not contradict how you are trying to position yourself as a country. So India, we are very hardworking and rigorous and competitive people, and our organizations are also like that. And that is the reason why we have CEOs who are Indian origin CEOs around the world. It's because Indians are very competitive, and to some extent, again, mental health issues come in, but we are working on that. But okay, so you also have to find, organizations in Nepal have to find out what core competencies are, okay, and build those core competencies. See to it that those core competencies are in alignment with the national level positioning that you want to achieve. How do you present yourself to the world? When Sundar Pichai, now he has become, and this is something that our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji He talked about, earlier we used to talk about brain drain, people leaving, and we used to cry about, talented people leaving IITs, their, subsidized education, and they're leaving these bright minds. What he said is, it's not brain drain, it's rather brain deposit. And in a world, today's connected world, it doesn't matter if Sundar Pichai is not working from India. It doesn't matter if he has, he is in US. Google had a program where they gave free Wi-Fi to Indian railway stations. Okay, so it doesn't matter where your talent is. You have to understand what your core competencies are. Build your brand on that, and you have to align it with your national level positioning. And of course, if we come to the organization level, and that is all leadership about. Okay, so it's about vision and understanding what the vision of the country is, and aligning your organization's vision with that. Okay, so your talent within the organization, how you're using talent within the organization, it should not come in conflict with how, where your country wants to be. Okay. And branding also, at the organization level, branding is about how you present yourself as a company, what are the attractive features, how, that will come later on. Okay. So, okay.
So thank you so much, ma'am, and definitely you have emphasized that the success has not, or the success in India has not come overnight. There has been a substantial work deep beneath in the policy level. And I would also like to correct myself. It's like, since we have been referring Nepal as a small country because we compare usually Nepal with China and India. But if you look at the global context, Nepal is a mid-sized country. There are a lot of European countries. If we compare, we are much bigger than that. So coming to the next question to our panelists, since ma'am has also emphasized on the policies, and since our chairperson, he has also worked with the government and he has an in-depth knowledge on that. So integration of science and policy. So as in your perspective, how can the integration of scientific advancements and policy making, a blend of your expertise, contribute to more informed and have a better sustainable development trajectory for Nepal?
Thank you, sir. I am not a scientist, but just I can share my experience. Nepal is an agriculture country, but nowadays the world is doing agriculture based on the intelligent way. There is a soil. Soil contains different minerals. It contains magnesium, it contains phosphorus, it contains potassium, it contains sodium, so many things, and it has the moisture as well. And it has some pH. What we are doing that, we don't look our soil. We are just putting the fertilizer, sometimes potash fertilizer, sometimes urea fertilizers. But our soil, if we are putting the potash fertilizer, but our soil is asking for this urea, because our soil, that soil already has the potassium. And when we are putting the urea, that soil may ask the potash fertilizer, and we are not looking for the moisture as well. In the world, the machines are identifying whether this soil needs the potash fertilizer or urea or nitrogen fertilizer, and how much water or how much moisture is needed, or how much pH is needed for this soil. So, nowadays the world is thinking very differently. And our science and technology should be embedded in the national priorities and national agendas. Or we have to fix our strategies. National strategies could be fixed on the scientific basis, not on the ad hoc basis. Another thing, another bright thing for our country is, you can see the hydropowers. Nowadays we are producing around 2,500 megawatt hydropower. And our national demand is only 2,000 megawatt. And world is shifting to EV, electric vehicles, green vehicles, no carbon emissions. And there is we are also adopting the Sustainable Development Goal 2030. So I think if most of the money goes to buy the energy,
and we are producing a lot of energy in our country, and we are not able to sell that. So I think in many areas, we need the science and technologies which should be embedded, which should be included in our national priority, national agenda, so that we can implement our top-down approach should follow those strategies, and we can enhance our business perspective. And one other small thing I want to add here. Last time, how the world is changing and how we can go over there. Last time, two gentlemen, there is one Nobel Prize in chemistry. There is the carbon dot. Okay? There are the carbon dots, carbon quantums. Quantum in the innovation of the quantum. Now, this quantum, will treat the cancer. This will identify how much cancer is propagated in our human cell, and that will identify how much the area that cancer covers, and we can treat the cancer properly. So there are so many things, in my short knowledge, I think there are so many things in science and technology. We can adopt the green technologies in our system. We can set out the national priorities on the energy, on the tourism, and some other scientific things, so that we can grow our business, and we should produce the sustainable manpower in our country. I think that's why the science and technology and national priorities, national agenda should be aligned for the development of the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Anand sir. I feel that we are having a really amazing time discussing such an interesting topics, and I'm very blessed to have such an amazing panelists who have been contributing flawlessly to all this information. And I would like to add, as both ma'am as well as Anand sir has specified about the technology, and ma'am was also specifying about Sundar Pichai, the Google CEO. And recently, I think most of you are aware that he have come up with a concept that eye scanning, as sir has said, there is no need of MRI and anything. The Google is coming up with eye scanning, and once they scan the eyes, they can find out all the medical, deficiencies, or basically any ailments that you are suffering can be detected. So that's again the future of technology. And we are trying to move and close down this panel discussion. But before we do that, I would also like to ask Mr. Raju Poudel, sir. So since Nepal had a lot of potentials, and even Dr. Ahmad sir has also said that we have different potentials, and Nepal has always been looked as a country like prospering and aspiring for tourism. So what else, as a experienced person from Chamber of Industries, would like to let our students know that this is the positive outlook that our country has, and if we work on this path, definitely not today, as ma'am has said, that success is not an overnight journey, but if we take these steps, definitely we have a brighter future for the younger generation. So I would like to, I would request you to emphasize that how tourism and other factors in Nepal can help our country to become better, and our students can also see hope of staying in our country.
Industry को contribution भन्दाखेरि GDP मा contribution हेर्दाखेरि industry भन्ने बित्तिकै हामीले not only manufacturing industry, हामीले service industries लाई पनि हामी सँगसँगै लिन्छौं. त्यसमा tourism पनि पर्छ. As a whole, tourism लाई पनि हामीले if we include tourism also, we have 15% contribution in GDP. त्यो कारणले गर्दाखेरि अहिले हामीले हाम्रो जुन रिसोर्सेसहरु छ ती रिसोर्सेसहरुलाई युटिलाइज गर्दाखेरि यति मात्रै हामीले 15% को मात्रै कन्ट्रिब्युसन हामीले गर्न सकेका छौं भने यदि हामीले अहिलेको हाम्रो देशको रिसोर्सेसहरुलाई प्रयोग गर्न सक्ने र पूर्व मेचुरी पश्चिम महाकाली हिमाल पहाड तराई सबैलाई हामीले एउटा बास्केटमा राखेर हामीले हेर्न सक्ने र त्यस किसिमको प्याकेजहरु डेभलप गर्न सक्ने हो भने हामीले धेरै डेभलपमेन्टका धेरै मोडलहरु हामीले विकास गर्न सक्छौं. फर एक्जाम्पल, I am acting as a co-coordinator of Bharatpur visit year 2024. Visit वर्ष 2024 को म एज अ सहसंयोजकको रूपमा पनि काम गरिरहेको छु र यहाँ नै हामीले करिब करिब 2 लाख भन्दा बढी टुरिस्ट चाहिँ हामीले भरतपुरमा मात्रै भित्र्याउने भनेर 2024 मा हामीले फोरकास्ट गरेका छौं र नेपाल सरकारले आगामी दशक टुरिज्म दशक भनेर भनेको छ भने बागमती प्रदेशले 2025 लाई भ्रमण वर्ष बागमती भ्रमण वर्ष भनेर चाहिँ घोषणा गरिसकेको छ। यो खालको प्रोस्पेक्ट एकातर्फ छ भने तपाईहरुलाई थोरै मैले जोड्न चाहे अघि नै आनन्द सरले फोकस गर्नुभयो उहाँले के फोकस गर्नुभयो भने अबको जमाना भनेको यो टेक्नोलोजीको जमाना हो। अब भोलि भाटबेटिनीमा 5 वर्षपछि हामीले चाहिँ त्यहाँ काउन्टरहरु हुँदैनन् भन्नुभयो भने नेपालमै अहिले तपाईहरुले यदि हेर्नुभयो भने 80 करोड को आईटी सेक्टरले जीडीपी मा कन्ट्रिब्युसन गरेको हामीले फेला पर्यौं र आगामी केही वर्ष भनेको 2030 सम्ममा 1 खर्ब भन्दा बढीको कन्ट्रिब्युसन आईटी सेक्टरबाट हुँदैछ भनेर चाहिँ फोरकास्ट गरिएको छ र हजुर त्यो हिसाब किताबले आईटी सँगसँगै टुरिज्म सँगसँगै आईटी लगायतका इन्डस्ट्रीहरुलाई हामीले यदि जोड्न सक्यौं र हाम्रो जुन पोटेन्शियलिटीहरु छ तिनीहरुलाई प्रयोग गर्न सक्यौं भने भोलिको दिनमा मलाई लाग्छ हिजो मात्रै मैले न्यूज पढे हिजोको यहाँले पढ्नु भएन हिमालयन टाइम्समा थियो नेपाली सिन्धुपाल्चोकमा अहिले कफी खेतीले एउटै गाउँमा करोडौं रुपैयाँ भित्रियो अनि त्यसैगरी अहिले हिजो बेलुका मात्रै तपाईहरुले जस्तै म पनि पढ्न खोजिराखेको छु अहिले रामपुरमा मैले एउटा चाहिँ एब्स्ट्र्याक्ट पठाएँ वालनटको चाहिँ के छ त इकोनोमिकली वालनटलाई हामी कसरी हेर्न सकिन्छ भनेर त्यसको चाहिँ रिसर्च केही साथीहरुले मलाई सहयोग गर्नुभएको थियो त्यो पठाउँदाखेरि कर्णाली र सुदूरपश्चिममा यहाँ जानुभयो भने वालनटको कारणले त्यहाँको कायापलट हुने सम्भावना देखियो। त्यो हामीले रिसर्च गर्दाखेरि त्यो कुरो फाइन्ड आउट गर्यौं भने यस्ता खालका अपर्चुनिटीहरु हाम्रो तीनवटा हिमाल पहाड तराई भएको कारणले यदि तिनीहरुलाई हामीले एउटा बास्केटमा राख्न सक्यौं र त्यसलाई प्रोपर कोअर्डिनेसन गर्न सक्यौं भने भोलिको भविष्य तपाई हामीसँगै छ। चितवनमै पनि हामीलाई थाहै नहुन सक्छ भरतपुर महानगरमा 30 वटा डेस्टिनेसन छ भन्दा कसैले पनि पत्याउन गाह्रो हो। तर तपाईले बाडुली पोखरी भनेर सुन्नु भएको छ कि छैन त्यहाँ गएर हेर्नु भने संसारका चरा हेर्न पाउनुहुन्छ र तपाईले चरा पनि के देख्नुहुन्छ भने त्यो चरा चाहिँ यो जिउँदो रुखमा बस्दैन मरेको रुखमा मात्रै बस्छ र त्यसको चाहिँ फोटो हाम्रो भरतपुर महानगरको मेयरले नै राख्नु भएको त्यो कार्यक्रममा म पनि गएको थिएँ भने यो खालको यही भित्र छ टाढा जानै पर्दैन र टुरिज्मको हिसाब किताबले त अझ धेरै यही हामीले मौलकालिका देख्न सक्छौं त्यही शाश्वतधाम देख्न सक्छौं कुनै पनि सिटी र कुनै पनि देश भनौं न सिटी चाहिँ एक्लै समृद्ध हुन सक्दैन त्यसका लिङ्क सिटीहरु पनि राम्रो हुनुपर्छ भन्ने डेभलपमेन्टको मोडल छ। यदि त्यसलाई प्रयोग गर्न सकियो भने उज्जवल भविष्य तपाई हामीसँगै छ त्यसलाई हामीले मात्रै प्रयोग गर्न जानु पर्यो। हस् धन्यवाद।
We know the one of the reason for economic boom of India is adapting the technology and innovation. So one part of the technology is right now is hot topic is a blockchain, right? So in blockchain that we heard about cryptocurrency as well. So in context of Nepal, so we can see that our neighbor country are adapting the cryptocurrency. So do you think that we need to adapt the cryptocurrency? So and for additional question, I would like to ask that we can heard that some economics say that it is not preferable for Nepal, that it might hamper the economic of Nepal. So some we can heard that with the adapting the blockchain technology regarding the crypto, the economic of Nepal will also be boom. So between comparison between this our neighbor country and Nepal, so what is your opinion on the cryptocurrency?
This is a very big question for me because I have very little knowledge about the cryptocurrency and in my opinion, you know, yes, world is experiencing, not only in India, many countries are
using the very high technology on blockchain and supply chain management. I am not the guy from the management, but based on my knowledge with the interaction and some reading of the books, blockchain and supply chain management is the key nowadays. For the cryptocurrency, I think, ma'am, would you answer the question about that? Because if I give some answer, that will be just my opinion.
So crypto, even I am not a technical person, so I can't talk about the technology part. But the policy aspect, I think sir can also add on. I think even India is not very sure about cryptocurrency as yet. So it's not, yes, so it's not the government, there are fears that it can get banned or, so India is still very skeptical about adoption of cryptocurrency. And as we see, it's something, it's very prone to being sometimes manipulated also. So you have an Elon Musk who tweets about Dogecoin, and then everyone shifts to that. Okay, so that it's a technology where the specifics are not yet very robust. So I think India, because being a big country, and we have a very mathematical bent of mind, and that's why we are good at adopting technology and all that. But still, because it's a big country, the repercussions are huge, and India especially is very careful about financial decision making. India's banking system, though we had problems with NPA, which has been corrected to some extent, even if you see during financial crisis that affects the entire world, Indian banking system, because of its robustness, we were saved to some extent. So when it comes to financial decision making, India is not a very high on risk. So I think cryptocurrency, there is still some skepticism in India about the robustness of the system, and it's not being fully adopted, and there are fears that it can get banned. So investing in cryptocurrency is not a very wise thing. You need to educate yourself more as young people about the future prospects of that.
Cryptocurrency भने एउटा brain हो, whatever मेरो knowledge अनुसार. This is the cryptocurrency. यो cryptocurrency भयो, म चाहिँ यहाँ नेपालको मान्छे छु अथवा यो इन्डियाको मान्छे अर्को छ भने म यससँग पैसा छैन, म यसको नामले कन्ट्रीले यो ब्रेन युज गर्यो, मेरो पैसा पनि यही जान्छ, यसको पैसा नि यही जान्छ, यसको पैसा नि यही जान्छ. जब तिनीहरूलाई फिनान्सियल क्राइसिस सबैको पैसा तान्नको लागि क्रिप्टोकरेन्सीको एउटा स्ट्राटेजिक मुभ थियो. त्यही भएर नेपाल सरकारले, इन्डियन सरकारले, अथवा यो अहिले चाहिँ हाम्रो साउथ एसियामा यो इम्प्लिमेन्ट भएको छैन, नेपाल र इन्डियाले यसलाई भ्यालिड गरेका छैन. र त्योभन्दा धेरै क्रिप्टोकरेन्सीमा चाहिँ कस्तो भनेपछि यो एउटा चाहिँ संसारभरिको पैसा आफूतिर ल्याउने एउटा strategic move हो जस्तो लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ.
And where's that guy? And we are the country of assets, so we believe in terms of monetary policy we have some gold reserve, and we are really smart, or we wait for economic bubbles or boom. So as what in 2007 there was we were discussing about the economic bubble early morning. So we are waiting for that bubble right now. Then after that, maybe we can invest in that. And even here also, private partners, Reliance is also planning for a Bitcoin. So they are in the pipeline. Things are under pipeline for that. Yes.
My question goes to Dr. Ahmad. Okay, so whenever we talk about the productivity, it's all about the factors of production: land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. So if you compare, whenever we compare with India, we do have a small land, we do have a small labor, even the capital and even the entrepreneurship. But there are certain countries like Nepal who do have a small land, small labor, small entrepreneurship and small capital, and they are being developed as well. So what sort of intervention strategy that we should adopt so we can have a very good competitive position in the global market? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the question, Jagdish sir. So obviously skill development is one of the important part we have to work on. It doesn't mean that the population demography is low or the population is low. You can develop your students also for what is happening. You as you're following the integrated course, and your MBA is following that, even Ankuram Academy is following the integrated course. You need to work on the policies that it should be accepted by the government and partner by the government. Like in India, we have a national exchange program, or faculty development program is a part of AICT, even student exchange is a part of AICT. So what we are doing as a private organization together, that should be funded by the government, more facilities for scholarships. And even I believe that just now we have seen the tribe, what tribe it was? Tharu tribe. We have a Tharu tribe drawings. We need to preserve that. We need to come out with a habitat center, because after some generation it won't be there. So we need to preserve these things. I've seen middle-aged people dancing. So where is the youth? Tharu youth should be participative in that, and it should feel proud. And other than that, related to your question, we need to work on the skill development and should be partnered with the government of Nepal. Thank you, sir.
If we look at the productivity of pangasius fish in Bangladesh, in 1 kattha, they are getting 5 tons. And if we look at our productivity in Nepal, we are getting 100 to 200 kg per kattha. So we can change this by adopting technologies. And if you look at the capsicum productivity in our context, and in free range and free open environment, and if we look at the productivity of capsicum in greenhouse, there is more than 20 times productivity in greenhouse. So we can adopt the technology and we can do better in our scenario. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Raju and I am from Dr.D.Y School of Management. So my question to all of you is that after attending this panel today, I can confidently say that there are many people who are knowledgeable and who know what the world trends are and what needs to be done to get the economy booming in Nepal as well. But my question is that the decision makers, are they incompetent or the advisors are incompetent? So what's going wrong in Nepal?
Thank you for very nice question. Everyone is asking the same question to everyone. Okay, you are asking that question to me, and I am asking that question to you. Okay, everyone is asking the same question. But in my opinion, what is going on? The first thing is, I think, if you see the darker side only, then we can see, okay, there is nothing, everything is deteriorating and we don't have anything. तर आजभोलिको एउटा मैले भने नि, if you see the data of Nepal, हामी कहिले नेपालको डाटा हेर्छौँ कि हेर्दैनौँ? नेपालको डाटा यदि हामीले हेर्यौँ भने हामीले कति प्रोग्रेस गरिरहेका छौँ। अहिले हेर्नुस् त, if you see the data of cardamom, अलैँची, you can be amazed. ओहो, कति धेरै अलैँची नेपालबाट प्रोड्युस भइरहेछ। You can see the data of the water. अहिले कति पानी हामी एक्सपोर्ट गरिरहेका छौँ। र हेर्दा हेर्दै 5 वर्ष पहिले हामी चाहिँ कति धेरै 19 hours of load shedding we have, र अहिले चाहिँ हामीलाई चाहिने भन्दा 500 मेगावाट बढी बिजुली हामी प्रोड्युस गरिरहेका छौँ। त्यही भएर कस्तो नि चाहिँ अब of course the political side, if you see over there, the people, they don't have the good knowledge about the technology, innovation. Even we don't have. हामीलाई पनि छैन, उनीहरूलाई पनि छैन भने जस्तो भयो। तर सँगसँगै के हो भने चाहिँ अब यो गभर्नमेन्टको मान्छेलाई दोष दिन भन्दा नि स्लोली घरमा बुवाले जाने छैन नि, बुवालाई आज नै घरबाट निकाल्ने, रिप्लेस गर्नु त गाह्रो छ नि, हैन? छोरो जान्ने हुँदै गएपछि 3 वर्ष 2 वर्ष ढिलो होला, तर घर त राम्रो बन्छ भन्छ। त्यही भएर मलाई चाहिँ के लाग्छ भने नेप्लिज पिपलहरू पनि अहिले, if you see globally, madam talk that Indian people are in very high positions. Of course, I have seen a lot of Indian peoples. You can see the CEO of the Delta, other places. There are a lot of people in the higher positions because they have the integrity. म चाहिँ मेहनत मात्रै भन्दैन, they have the accountability and integrity. They do their works with very honestly. And minuting, detailing of the work makes the man or put the man in the higher position. र नेपालमा पनि राम्रो हुँदै गइरहेछ। अब जम्मै किन गभर्नमेन्टको मान्छेले यस्तो गरेन, किन अर्कोले गरेन भने चाहिँ अब भइरहेछ। अब त्यो ठ्याक्कै कहिलेकाहीँ हामीले भनेको कुरा चाहिँ तपाईँहरूले सुनिदिनु भयो र पो अलिअलि कहिलेकाहीँ बुझिन्छ, कहिलेकाहीँ त्यो नसुनिदिने भएर अथवा हुँदाखेरि पनि कहिलेकाहीँ सिस्टमले, म त भन्छु पोलिटिसियन भन्दा पनि ब्युरोक्रेट्स आर
deteriorating day by day in our country. तिनीहरूले नै देशलाई धेरै कुराहरू नराम्रो गर्दैछ भन्ने लाग्छ मलाई चाहिँ किन चाहिँ म ब्युरोक्रेसी सिस्टममा बसेँ नि म चाहिँ आई वाज द चिफ एक्जिक्युटिभ अफिसर अफ one entity which was in the Ministry of Science and Technology. I was the CEO. Then at that time I can see how the people think, how they are interested to embed the people, to embed the strategies in our national alignment. We have advocated a lot. Please at least allocate 1% budget for the research and development. Many times we plead. Just त्यो नीति तथा कार्यक्रममा 1% budget आयो, and when the budget was, when there was the budget speech, we don't have any money. There यस्तो कुरा त छ, तर it doesn't mean that we are, हामी सधैँभरि ओहो केही पनि छैन केही पनि छैन, धेरै छ हामीसँग. मैले नि हामी चाहिँ के गरिरहेछौँ भने चितवनमा युरिया चाहिने हो भने पटास दिइरहेछौँ, चितवनमा पटास चाहिने हो भने युरिया दिइरहेछौँ. अथवा चितवनलाई पटास चाहिने, हेटौडालाई चाहिँ युरिया चाहिने हुनसक्छ. अब हामीले त्यही एग्रिकल्चर रहेछौँ. हाम्रो यहाँको मान्छेले जसरी बाउले गरेको छ एग्रिकल्चर, जसरी बाउले चाहिँ क्याप्सिकम लगाएको छ, जसरी बाउले मकै लगाएको छ, त्यसरी हामी गरिरहेछौँ. हाम्रो माटोको पिएच कति छ, अथवा साँच्चै यसलाई कति चाहिने हो. अब पिएच चाहिँ तपाईँको 7 भन्दा बढी हुने त केही फल्दैन नि. किन रातो माटो र कालो माटो भन्छौँ, देयर इज द साइन्टिफिक टर्म नि. त्यही भएर हुँदैछ, हुन्छ बिस्तारै. वी हेभ टु वेट फर few more years, 5 to 7 years down the line. I think we would have the very fantastic change in our country. Thank you.
Okay, I just want to add something. Okay, I'm not to talk about Nepal. So you reminded me of that angry young man from Amitabh Bachchan 70s. So see, there is a concept in psychology. We talk about internal locus of control, external locus of control. Internal control means I think what I can do. What am I responsible for? External, I think, okay, fate is like this. Okay, so for young people like you, there are complex things like bureaucracy, politics. You can't have a lot of influence on that. So please start with, what you have control over. So again I'll take the example of our Prime Minister, Shri Modi ji. When he became Prime Minister, what do you expect Prime Ministers to talk about? Very complex things. He started with the thing that we need to clean our surroundings. Does the Prime Minister of a country need to talk about this? It's a very simple thing. It's a very doable thing. So recently we were celebrating our Swachhata Pakhwada. Okay, and very simple Swachhata. So we have a Swachh Bharat mission where we are cleaning the country. And what we were told in this, it's a very simple thing. We don't have to think about very large scale cleanliness also. Clean your desk first. Do you maintain a clean desk? Okay, so these are small things that you can start over rather than, worrying yourself over things which are beyond your control. And I want to share another anecdote personal. So we have visited Nepal as a family, and one of my, sisters, because my sister and brother-in-law were living in Germany, then after visiting Nepal, they went to Germany. And from there, they had visited Switzerland. Now, when she came back, she told me, Switzerland is beautiful, nothing against Switzerland, it's beautiful, but it's nothing compared to Pokhara, the Himalayas. It's nothing. Alps are beautiful, Swiss Alps, everything. What the people have done is, they have maintained it so well. It's so clean and maintained. Even if you go to US, I had visited US, the southwestern, Arizona, Utah, those parts. Grand Canyon is majestic. Apart from that, you have Monument Valley and all. But we were on the road for 4 days, and by the end of 3rd day, I was like, oh my God, I can't see this red soil anymore. Okay, but so they don't have that much diversity that Nepal has or India has. But what they're very good at is they have maintained it so well. Grand Canyon, if you go, you have a bus service which will take you, okay? And their washrooms, they don't have water because they have scarcity of water. So Indians, imagine using the washroom, not getting water. They had kept a sanitizer bottle, okay? So even with their constraints, whatever they have, they project it so beautifully, they keep it so beautiful, okay? They show it in their movies. So you have something which is no country has, the Himalayas. Okay, so think of how you can project that beautifully rather than thinking what is going wrong. Think of what is within your control. Okay.
As Madam highlighted, monasthiti and paristiti we cannot change, but monasthiti we can change. Yeah, हामीसँग भित्रै छ नि त, हाम्रो मनस्थिति त हामी चेन्ज गर्न सक्छौँ नि होइन। परिस्थिति त हामी सबैको कन्ट्रोलमा छैन। त्यो चाहिँ हामीले यति सोच्यौँ भने दिस इज वेस्टेज थट। हामी सोचिराख्छौँ, कन्क्लुजन केही पनि आउँदैन। यदि तपाईँले हेर्नुभयो भने इन्डियाको डेभलपमेन्ट, आजको विकास हेर्नुभयो भने मनमोहन सिंहको अर्थमन्त्री एज अ फाइनेन्स मिनिस्टर, मनमोहन सिंहको अर्थमन्त्रीत्व पछि उहाँ प्रधानमन्त्री पनि हुनुभयो र एउटा अर्थशास्त्रमा भन्छ नि लेसेस फेयर इकोनोमीलाई, त्यसलाई चाहिँ बुस्ट गर्नलाई उहाँले बिग पुस दिनुभयो, एकचोटि ठुलो धक्का दिनुभयो। त्यसपछि आएर मोदीजी आइसकेपछि चाहिँ नोटबन्दीसम्म भयो 1916 या 2016 या 16 यस। म त्यो बेलामा इन्डियामा थिएँ, आई वाज इन दिल्ली या। अनि उहाँले चाहिँ त्यो इकोनोमीलाई एउटा फेजमा लानुभयो, अहिले त्यही ड्राइभ भइरहेछ। तर तपाईँहरूले यहाँ पनि सुन्नुहुन्छ नि, हाम्रो नोटबन्दी गरिदियो हुन्थ्यो, सबै गरिदियो हुन्थ्यो भनेर सुन्नुहुन्छ नि होइन। त्यो त आफ्नो ठाउँमा छँदैछ। तर म पोजिटिभ पाटो तपाईँलाई के देखाउन चाहन्छु भने भरतपुर महानगरपालिका नै हेर्नुभयो भने यो 6 वर्षमा मोर देन 700 किलोमिटर इन 1 मेट्रोपोलिटन पिच भयो। र यहाँको चाहिँ दुध उत्पादन गर्ने किसानले 3 रुपियाँ एक्स्ट्रा पैसा पायो। यहाँको बिउ उत्पादन गर्ने किसानले 20 रुपियाँ एक्स्ट्रा पर केजी पैसा पायो भने यो सुरुवात त बिस्तारै हुँदैछ। र तपाईँले बिजुली हेर्नुभयो भने बिजुली हामी किन्थ्यौँ, बेच्न थाल्यौँ। तपाईँ बाटोघाटो हेर्नुभयो भने चितवनबाट बुटवल अनि पोखरा अनि काठमाडौँको जुन बाटो बन्दैछ, र अहिले तपाईँले पोजिटिभ साइन हेर्नुभयो भने 60% ग्रोथ छ अहिले टुरिज्ममा। गत वर्षको तुलनामा हेर्ने त हो नि 60% छ। म एउटा चाहिँ हस्पिटलको अध्यक्ष भएको हिसाबले त अहिले म त्यहाँ हेर्छु 600 बेडको हस्पिटल चलाइएको छ, 150 बेड मात्रै सरकारको दरबन्दी छ। हामी 450 बेड चाहिँ हामीले आफैले कमाएर चाहिँ तलब खुवाइरहेछौँ। त्यस्तो हिसाबमा सरकार चलिरहेछ। यसको मुख्य कारण के हो भन्नुहुन्छ, मलाई के लाग्छ भने उत्पादन र उत्पादकत्व र इन्डस्ट्रियलाइजेसनमा कसैको पनि ध्यान पुगेन हिजोको दिनमा। तर आजको दिनमा बिस्तारै बिस्तारै इन्फ्रास्ट्रक्चरहरू बन्दैछन्। मनाङको मुस्ताङको स्याउ तपाईँले यहाँ खान पाउने हुनुभएको छ। अघि नै भने सिन्धुपाल्चोकको कफी बिक्री भएको छ, त्यो चाहिँ विदेशमा जाँदैछ। अब सुदूरपश्चिम र कर्णालीको ओखर हामीले खान पाइँदैछ र त्यो पनि विदेश जाने तयारी हुँदैछ। त्यो पनि अर्ग्यानिक ओखर, र त्यो चाहिँ फेरि हाम्रोभन्दा न्युट्रिसनल भ्यालुको हिसाबले हेर्नुहुन्छ भने कमर्सियल भन्दा त्यो चाहिँ जङ्गलहरूतिर पाइने ओखर रहेछ। त्यसको चाहिँ न्युट्रिसनल भ्यालु पनि हाई हुँदो रहेछ। म एउटा एग्रिकल्चरको पनि विद्यार्थी भएको नाताले त्यसकारण धेरै धेरै पोजिटिभ एक्सपेक्टहरू पनि छन्। तर हामीले यसो हेर्दाखेरि केही पनि भएन जस्तो छ। अघि नै आनन्द सरले भन्नुभयो हामी कल्पनै गर्न सक्दैनौँ लाइन सधैँ आउला त भन्ने जस्तो थियो। अहिले हामी चिसोमा बसिरहेछौँ नि, कहिलेकाहीँ जाने त्यो त भइहाल्छ भने धेरै पोजिटिभ एक्सपेक्ट छन्। त्यसलाई चाहिँ त्यो परिस्थितिलाई छोडिदिउँ, हाम्रो मनस्थिति बदलाउ, हामी गर्न सक्छौँ। थ्याङ्क यू।
Thank you so much. We had a very enriching session. There is still a question? Okay. So I think we will take this as a last question and then wrap it up. Okay, you can ask your questions.
Thank you, Suman sir. Distinguished panelists and dear students from D.Y. Patil and my colleagues, my friends. So I do have some questions with, I am Assistant Professor, Professor Priya Alat. Since I have been teaching organizations behavior, entrepreneurship and innovations, and general management courses. So I have typically academic questions for you. So there is a sentimental feelings with you as well. I'm also the alumni of IIM, batch 2018 FTP. So since I am also teaching the organization's behavior to our MBA students, so here is one question. So how would you suggest us, BIC faculties, BIC teachers, faculty members, so how we can teach our students, especially MBA or postgraduate students, to modify their behavioral dimensions towards the entrepreneurship developments or the economic development of our country, Nepal. Thank you.
Okay. So I think we have very I have very simple, because I observe people. So when I was coming also at a lot of times, in the airport I sat and saw how things are. So I have seen, if you have been to Kolkata, Kolkata has a place called Bada Bazaar. Okay, so a lot of business community, and there is nothing on earth that you won't find there. Okay, and you have shopkeepers there. So I went for my wedding shopping there. A lot of people from India travel to that place for wedding shopping and all. And I don't spend a lot of time on shopping. So I had a fixed budget, and I said I want this color, a bright red color, and this is my budget. And this person, he started showing the sarees, and I chose one saree, and then I said, I like this one. He told me, ma'am, the color that you want is not this, it's this. So I was so amazed at his business acumen, his sense, we talk about customer perceptions. So I think that, we would do our students, great service by advising them to go sit in these shops, okay? Right from so entrepreneurship is a mentality, it's a mindset. So first of all, in the Eastern cultures, we are very risk averse. We don't want to take risks because we have been, economically deprived. We want security first. So India, what has happened is some sense of security has come in because incomes have risen, per capita income has risen, some security is there. So now people can take risks. They have parents who are affluent. So if your venture fails, you can go back to your parents, for support. Earlier, we didn't have that. So we all wanted government jobs. So entrepreneurial mindset, it's a mindset you have to develop. So you have to train people to take risks, and you can give training like the one that I said, send them to shops, and you see shopkeepers, they mentally will do so much calculation. Okay, so these are some skills. So you go send them to real business houses. Business doesn't always mean the corporates. Okay, go see how business is conducted day by day. So that is one that can develop skill. We have to encourage them to take risks, and it has to be supported by an ecosystem. I have an idea. How do I get funding for it? Okay, so financial literacy. Okay, but then we also have to teach them of the ethics of it. Recently in India, financial influencers have been banned. People who were going on YouTube and giving financial advice. So we also have to see to them that we train them on the ethical dimensions of business, that is, how you conduct business ethically. So entrepreneurship, there is a lot of scope for getting, influenced and going into unethical side. That can also become because of lack of knowledge when you're dealing with financial things. So this is how I think you have to first develop a risk-taking mindset. You have to support that through the, an infrastructure, and develop skills by exposing them to real business houses. Okay.
So thank you so much. I think we had a really great time learning, discussing, and we are very blessed to have such a wonderful audience who have put your ears on to listen to our conversation. And finally, I would like to thank our panelists for the time. It's time to sign off. Thank you so much.